this machine in a minute. This is called Fusion. All the weather graphics are done by about 3 or 4 companies. They're proprietary companies that produce these systems, and they're really just really glorified PowerPoints, but they can do a lot more graphic stuff than PowerPoint does.
So it's okay if I take a picture?
Oh yeah, feel free. Yeah, nobody. I don't think we have anything. You're not on the air anymore, are you, Keisha?
No.
Okay, we don't have anything on the air again until noon, so we're okay here. I'm not really sure what the editors down in the news actually do. I mean, they edit a lot of the stuff. And most of our stuff is, we have a graphics department that creates it on something. It's a black hole, I don't know. I was just talking to graphics artists a minute ago and told them I needed such and such. They create the backgrounds, and then we import them into there, and then we build the graphics on top of that. It's cut and paste, and we change symbols and such, but we don't actually, I have no graphics capability at all, or skill. So I have trouble drawing stick figures for that matter. So anyway, so the way we go about forecasting it, I'll tell you how our day runs. So when we get in here, first thing I do is I look at, for example, with satellite picture. You can come up in here if you want.
Mommy's just going to take pictures.
What's that? Oh yeah, sure, Nick, no problem.
Thanks.
So we'll look at the satellite pictures. This is the infrared, so we can see what the systems are doing. So
Yep, so these are the remnants of Tropical Depression Evo.
Oh, really? See, I didn't even know that.
So,
I don't even look that far away, quite honestly.
yep.
Well, good for you. That's good to know that. The interesting thing about West Coast TV weather is all the research shows that nobody really cares about weather once it leaves the West Coast, if you live on the West Coast, because it's going somewhere else. What I looked at this morning is, you see this circulation up here, there's big upper level low up there.
Low pressure.
Yeah, and what it's doing is it's rotating these little disturbances in. And so this one's going to bring us some rain this afternoon. And actually, if we get a little bit closer, okay, fine. Can you stop?
Yep,
Yeah,
but
okay.
So do you guys have a radar that shows the base reflectivity?
That's the one we normally look at, which is over here. Good of you to know that one. So we have, it's the National Weather Service's radars all put together and redisplayed on there.
Yeah.
And base reflectivity is what we normally put on the air, because that's what people want to see, is where the rainfall happens to be.
Yep, so is this the moisture right there?
That actually is from a computer model.
Oh.
That's the forecast for about 24 hours from now, 54 hours from now actually. So we look at these pictures here. I look at the satellite images so we can see what's going on. I look at the current observations, which we get these from the airports. We come in and we read these so I can see what's going on in the ground. Then I'll look at the Doppler radar. However, Doppler radar, around here the Doppler radar is not real reliable because of the mountains and the fact that our rainfall is pretty light lots of times. So I will spend some time looking at it, trying to figure out what's real and what isn't on here.
Yeah, but it is all thanks to the rain shadow effect of the Olympics.
That's right.
Yep, and of course it's so dry on the east side thanks to the cascade rain shadow effect.
Which is a really interesting thing about the Northwest.
Yep.
We have some of the most extreme weather around in terms of differences over short distances.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's excellent that you know that. So then I also go over and look at our schoolnet data. So we have 150 stations around the state. This is up at the top of Crystal Mountain. It's a live streaming camera up there. It's like a beautiful day to be up at Crystal Mountain. Here comes the gondola.
Yep, and it's
Sorry about all the pictures.
so high definition.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, it is a nice shot. So there you can see the clouds streaming by. And then we look at temperatures, rainfall. So I can, first thing I do is come in and try and figure out what the weather's doing right now. Usually I kind of look back. Jeff and I leave notes for each other because we don't actually see each other.
Really?
Yeah, because he comes in at 2:30, leaves at 11:30. I come in around 3 and leave hopefully by 11:30 or so most days. So we never overlap. Rarely do we overlap. So we write extended notes to each other, telling each other what the weather's done, what we're seeing in the computer models. And the computer models really run twice a day, so we have each one of us has a new set to look at. So once you look at all this, then what you have to do is you look at the computer models. And the first one we use, which I'll be able to see better as soon as I figure out where I put my glasses. There they are. It was so much easier before I went blind. Okay, so pull these guys up. And pull this guy up here. So there's two different models we use, primarily for getting what the large pattern is. This is called the GFS, and then the
Yeah.
other one is the European or the Euro. And we look at these two to see what the major pattern changes are. And
Yep. So do you guys have a radar that shows the instability and convection in the air?
it doesn't really show the instability. Yeah, I mean, it shows the convection in the sense that it shows rain, and you can see that it's a convective rain. But again, it's the same radar that the National Weather Service has. So if we go back, when is this? That's a little too far out. So I was just going to take it to
So
this
do you
morning.
know where the National Weather Service in Seattle is?
Yeah, it's over on Lake Washington by Magnuson Park.
Oh, and is it off of Montlake? Because I saw a NOAA symbol, and I'm not sure if that
That's actually
is...
marine fisheries. That's right off of Montlake. You have to go all the way over by Magnuson Park, which is on Lake Washington. Now, it used to be right down the street here on Westlake, but I used to work in the Weather Service office a long, long time ago. A long time ago.
Oh.
Just a second here. So these are the computer maps we were looking at this morning. And this one is what the atmosphere up at about 18,000 feet, and this is down at the surface. And so basically, these computer models gather data from all over the world, and they say this is what the Earth's atmosphere looks like right now. And then these things simulate it. The giant computer games that go through and simulate how they think the weather's going to evolve over the next 24 hours, 36 hours, and actually they go out, the long-range ones go out for 15 days.
Wow.
And so my job as a meteorologist is to look at those and kind of figure out which one, because they have different solutions, try and figure out which one is correct and what it means for us in terms of weather we're going to see. Because these include the entire globe. Once I look at this and get that feeling down, then I go over to these models here, which are from the University of Washington. And they're from a model that's called the WRF. But basically it's just a very high resolution model. If I go back over here and go to, do we have anything at 1/3 kilometers yet?
No.
We don't really yet. Okay, so we'll go to the last one. Do you have any questions, Nick? Anything interesting? Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You're not as smart as your brother. Don't say that.
Oh, that's not true. Hey, it's a lot of years between you guys, believe me. There were 5 years between my older son and my daughter, and she always felt that way too. She spent her entire life trying to catch up with her brother who was 5 years older. She finally passed him, actually. She got her master's before he did, so. There we go. Go back here. Come on. What's that?
No, I'm close to that.
So my brother is as big as my mom.
Yeah, he's getting tall.
Yep, I mean, I'm 5'8", actually,
Wow.
going on to 5'9".
Everybody's taller than I am anymore. It's terrible.
Self-portraits.
Let's see, look at 0Z, and then what, 3 kilometers. So, we look at this and look at where the rain's going to come down. This will tell us, so here we go. So then we start looking at the smaller scale. So what they do is they use the data from these big scale models and they use it to start these models, which are you can see it's just Washington State, it's not the whole world. So if we go back and look, say, so that's last night when they were still getting showers and thunder showers in the Cascades. That moves
Yep, I
through.
mean, actually, just to the northwest of Spokane, there were severe thunderstorms with reports of 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts.
Absolutely, yeah, they had some nasty. They had 6,000 strikes a minute over there at one point.
Yep,
So you were keeping track for sure.
Yep, so that is about
You say
100
that
strikes
again.
per second.
What's that?
You say that again.
So you
Yeah,
can say that
totally,
again.
totally.
So
So
is this right now?
This is actually at 5 o'clock this afternoon. So you can see we're right here, and you can see the rain is just starting to move back in. So it looks like later this
yeah.
afternoon we'll be looking for rain coming in. But look at it, whips right on through, and it's gone by tomorrow morning. So that's 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning should be dry, but then as we head towards tomorrow afternoon, it starts to pick back up again. And that's actually, this model only goes out 24 hours, or 48 hours. What's that?
Never mind.
So what I do is then I look at this, and I decide what the forecast is going to be. time going through all these things. I take lots of notes
No
off.
lighting. Yeah.
And then, well, we look at that to see what's going on over there. You can see there's not much, but you see, looking at this, here's the rain that it's showing on the computer models. This is where it's coming from, right there. That's way, way off the coast right now.
Wow, so it's totally interactive, you're saying. The map is.
Oh yeah, totally. See, I can zoom in. If you want to go look at this rain right here, getting a few showers over there east of the Cascades. And we can drag this over here.
Yep, so is this the actual National Weather Service radar?
The data that you see on there, the actual
Yeah.
radar returns, is from theirs. And then we process it and display it and do some stuff to make it more presentable on the air.
Yeah, because their radar is the most accurate of them all.
Well, it's the best. It really is. We used to have our own Doppler radar,
Yeah,
but
was it
it's too
centered
expensive to
here?
maintain it. Well, actually, we have three sites in Washington State. We actually look
so
at 5.
There's one on Camino
Right.
Island, and then there's one in Pacific County.
Yeah, Langley Hill.
Yep, and
And do you know where the other ones are? Here, I'll give you a hint.
well, I know that there
I'll
is
do this.
also one in Portland, and then Pendleton and Spokane.
Here's the live scan here. It looks like some of them aren't turned on for some reason. Let's go turn the rest of them on. So those radars are on. So there you go. Yeah, you're right. So Portland, Langley Hill, Camino Island,
And Pendleton,
Pendleton,
and
and Spokane. Those are the 5 that we look at. And you can see all this rain that's sitting here off the coast right now. So that's going to be coming in later
So
today.
yep, so that is about 40 to 50 decibels of radar reflectivity near there.
There you go. So is it going to be wet?
I'm going to assume yes, most
That's a good call.
likely it will.
It definitely will be wet. So it'll turn into a wet afternoon commute. I'm not looking forward to my drive back from Bellevue this afternoon, I have to say. So once I figure all that out, then I come over to this computer, which is the one that goes onto the air, and then I build my graphics that I use on the air. So there's a lot of graphics in here. So let's just take one of them here.
So then you embed it onto the green screen.
And then everything that's on this screen, I'll show you
Yeah.
guys. We can't go in there because they're in production, but there's a place called a control room.
Yeah.
And everything we put on the air goes through the control room, and there, you'll see it. There's a panel with a gazillion, tons of buttons on it, and the directors bring all this stuff together and punch up what goes on the air. And so they basically, everything you see here, they can put on the air, and then they can put it all behind me over there. So you see this is up, well, let's come down to Seattle. So this is, so now if I want to change the weather forecast for today, I can go in and click on there, go down here, and it gives me a list of all these different weather things that I can do.
Wow,
So we can make it, let's do something more interesting like
thunder shower.
I was looking for those. Let's see. Let's go cloudy. There we go. That looks a little bit more threatening, doesn't it?
Yep, definitely.
So I go through and change these. I enter in the temperatures I think it's going to be today, and I have to build all these graphics. And we have about 43, 45 graphics for the morning show because I also do radio through here for Cairo FM radio, and then we do all of our hits on King and Kong.
So do you know who designs the graphics?
Well, these are designed by our graphics artists who are downstairs.
Yeah, so are they able to design a graphic that shows hail or?
I don't think we have one that says specifically hail. So we don't get it around here very often.
Yeah,
Ours are pretty limited.
Yeah, because the hail usually comes from areas of showers that show. Okay, wait, let me rephrase this.
That's okay. Fire away.
So if it's red on the Doppler radar or 60 plus decibels on the base reflectivity, then that will most likely be. So that is most likely where the hail will be embedded.
And it'll be time to go to your basement.
Yeah, well, not specifically the basement, because since the time I've been alive, I've never witnessed hail larger than nickels.
Was that here?
Yeah, because that one night when I was in Tacoma, I was on the western end, August 9th through 10th, and the, well, I guess you could call it the squall line came through from the southeast. The National Weather Service in Portland actually put severe thunderstorm warnings on this storm before it converged with ones from Ellensburg and Yakima, which came over the west side of the Cascades. Then they joined to form a line, and they came from the southeast, moved northwest at 30 miles per hour, and yeah.
I have no idea what you're
Good
talking
remembering.
about.
That was back earlier this month.
Yeah.
That actually, I was in Boston then, and I missed it, so I didn't get to see it.
Massachusetts.
You were camping? Sweet. Lovely.
Thought we were gonna
Yeah.
get electrocuted. Catch on,
They
not
were
electrocuted, but-
camping, and I was with my dad in Tacoma, so
Ah.
I actually recorded the whole thing.
Nice. Well, I'm sure it must have been good to be under a roof rather than under a tent.
We were in a trailer, but
Oh,
the
okay,
trailer
not-
started leaking because of the vent, and I'm like sleeping. And what in the world's going on?
Well, that was quite. From what I heard, that was
sleeping
quite.
in tent.
You were sleeping in a tent?
Yeah, you were.
Uh oh. How was it?
Good.
Oh, you enjoy that, even with the hail?
He's like, I slept through it.
I don't think he
That's
knows
the
what
thing,
hail is.
I don't.
Yes, he does.
There's plenty of time to learn. Don't worry about it, Nick.
I don't.
Your brother's gonna teach you.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to. So that's how we put the whole thing together, and we put the stuff on the air. But this is actually just a small part. I'll show you a couple other things here. First of all, if we go out here, do you see me outside? Lots of times I go outside.
Yep.
That's right out this door here.